What's up, math fans? I didn't do a separate video on multiplying bases, common bases, to see what to do with the exponents. So I'm going to do it real quick now, but I really want to get to multiplying binomials. So this is just to warm up the first two, and the good stuff is coming in number 3. Number 1, I want to multiply x squared times x to the third. So for you to remember this rule, hopefully by seeing it, it'll help you. I'm going to expand x squared. That means x times itself. I'm going to expand x to the third. That means x times x times x. So this is really saying this. Now if I saw this alone without that, I would say, I got x times x times x times x times x. That's x to the 5th power, and I'm done. That is your final correct answer. So the shortcut is to remember the simple rule. When you have the same base, you add the exponents. Even though the question is asking you to multiply, it's a multiplication question, you're really adding the exponents. This is why. All right? Now we're going to use that rule to do number 2 without having to work it all out. I'm not going to have to expand because I already remember the rule. 5x squared y times negative 2x to the third y to the fourth. So I'm going to look for a lot of different things. I'm going to look for coefficients, common bases, and exponents. First thing is 5 times negative 2. Those aren't exponents, those are coefficients. So I multiply, and I get negative 10. Now I have x squared times x to the third. That's the same as number 1. That's going to give me x to the 5th. Then I've got I've got y and y to the 4th. What is that going to give me? If you remember, y means there's just a y sitting there. Just one y, not 2 y's, not 0 y. There's a y sitting there. That's why the exponent is 1. It's y once. Times y to the 4th gives me y to the 5th. And there's your final answer. All right? Once you're comfortable multiplying, now you can multiply a lot of stuff. So this is a binomial because there's 2 terms here, and this is a binomial because there's 2 terms here, and I want to multiply. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to do it. You choose your favorite. One way is to write it like this: x plus 3 times x plus 8. And algebraically, I'm going to use something called a distributive property twice. First I'm going to distribute on top, then I'm going to distribute on the bottom. Meaning, first thing I do, x times x. Then I'm going to do the x again, but this time times the 8. Then I'm going to do the 3 times the x, and then the 3 times the 8. So I'm doing 4 things. And some people call this FOIL because it helps you remember which 4 things to do. You do the first term here times the first term here. That's f. Then you do the outside terms, the x and the 8, so you call that O for outer. Then you do the inner terms, the 3 and the x are on the inside, so that's your inner. And then the last thing you do is the last term here times the last term there. That is your last. Then you gotta just use your rules for multiplication. So I'm doing x times x. What did you just tell me to do? Add the exponents. X times x is really x squared. X times 8 is 8x, 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 8 is positive 24. Notice I picked only positive questions. In future videos I'll do some where I mix up the signs. Then you learn something called combining like terms, where you look for the same variable and the same exponent. So my final answer would be x squared plus 8 plus 3 is 11x plus 24. So your final answer, your product, is a trinomial, 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. Notice here you can only combine the like terms. Some people complain, oh, 3 times x, how is that 3x? Those aren't like terms. When you're multiplying, like terms don't matter. Only when you're adding, you have to worry about what are the like terms. This is the way most people do it. Some people look at it differently. Some people use a box method or the 3rd grade method. Let me show you the 3rd grade method. 3rd grade method is x plus 3 times x plus 8. And you don't even have to put the parentheses. Just line them up like this. You remember in 3rd grade when you used to multiply? You would kind of write a line like that. And you would do 8 times 3 and then 8 times x. 8 times 3 is, you can write the whole 24. You don't have to carry anything. 8 times x is 8x. And remind yourself that the 24 is positive. Then you move over to the next term, and you remember what you did here? You put a blank or an X, so you just moved over. You remember the space, the placeholder, and then you got x times 3 3x, x times x, x squared, and remind yourself that the 3x was positive. And then what did you do in third grade? After you multiply to multiply, you add. You add straight down. X squared adds with nothing. 8x plus 3x gives you positive 11x, and 24 comes down. Oh, look, same answer. Algebraic, third grade way, and then there's another way that I like, I call it the box method, where I look at this thing as if it was length and width of a box. So, draw a box. X plus 3 is going to go across the top, x plus 8 is going to go across the side. X plus 3 is going to go across the side, x plus 8 can go across the top. Or either way, I could put the 3 here and the 8 here, and you'll see it doesn't matter. So x plus 3 goes across the top, x plus 8 goes across the side. And I create 4 boxes. And you just multiply, kind of like the lattice method. X times x, x squared, 3 times x, 3x, x times 8 goes here, that's 8x, and then 3 times 8 is 24. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do exactly what I did in the last 2 questions. Combine like terms to get x squared plus 11x plus 24. So whichever is your favorite method, that's how you should do the next 2, okay? I'm going to run through number 4, and I'm going to let you do number 5 on your own. So number 4, 5x squared times 2x to the third, 10x. 2 plus 3 is 5 to the 5th. Plus 5x squared times 8y, what is that? 40x squared times y. X squared times y. There's nothing I can do with the exponents because there's no common base. Now we're going to go under. 3y times 2x squared is 6, positive 6, x to the third y. This is 3 times 2 is 6, x to the third, and y. No common base, so you just write it. 3y times 8y, that's 24y to the second. Positive 24y to the second. I'm going to try to combine like terms, but I don't see any, so that is my final answer. Please try this one on your own, and I really hope that you get this as your answer. Good luck. Thanks for watching. See ya.